always on the go, but the day just won't be one without your Hollywood fix. Let Golden State Media Concepts Entertainment Podcast take care of that. An all-inclusive look of pop culture.
Greetings, good people of the planet Earth and the known universe. You're listening to GSMC's Entertainment Podcast. It's your Captain Keith. And today's podcast episode is called R. Kelly, Aaliyah, and Mom, oh my, and Celebrity Mom Crimes. Oh, I love my job. Oh, man. Oh, man. I can't even make this stuff up. I've said it before. I'm sure I'll say it again. But let's get to the entertainment news, folks. Hope you're having a great day. Let's get it. So, and we'll get to all that stuff in today's episode. DC Comics has 7 upcoming superhero movies with official release dates, and here are all the details. All right, Warner Brothers DC superhero movies rebounded after Aquaman and are moving forward with a new strategy. 7 movies, including Wonder Woman and Aquaman sequels, have official release dates between now and 2022. The DC universe seemed stalled after Justice League, but it rebounded last year with the success of Aquaman, which made over $1 billion worldwide. Right on. What's known as the DC Extended Universe got off to a bumpy start with Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice, and Suicide Squad in 2016. Both performed well at the box office, but were trashed by critics. Justice League put the nail in the coffin when it underperformed critically and commercially. Yeah, well, we've talked about that. They brought in a different director and did reshoots. So, Zack Snyder's director's cut or assembly cut, whatever you want to call it, has not been put to the screen. So the Justice League original film was supposed to be 2 parts, not just 1. So, yeah. So, you can see I get a little sensitive about that one. I mean, I agree with them in regards to that film, but like I said, that's what they don't tell you. In that regard. So Warner Brothers is going all in as DC superhero movies with renewed confidence and a new strategy focused more on standalone stories rather than a connected universe. As 2017's Wonder Woman and Aquaman proved the strategy could work, and the upcoming movies are likely to capitalize on that. You could connect the universe. The movies did well because they were great stories and they had good direction. So, for many people who didn't like Batman versus Superman, there were many people who still did. So it just... And here's the thing. Let's say the critics don't like the film, which is usually the case anyway. If the film is successful, commercially speaking, that means somebody likes it. Just saying. So for those who panned Suicide Squad and Batman vs. Superman, the theaters were still packed. So somebody was watching. Somebody liked it. I know I did. Just saying. The studio has 7 release dates set for DC movies that range from sequels to origin stories to whatever. Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn will be... So that sentence was, and whatever that would be. More movies are in development beyond that don't yet have official release dates, such as an Aquaman horror spinoff about the trench creatures. That could be interesting, possibly. Among the upcoming movies are James Gunn's Suicide Squad sequel and Matt Reeves' The Batman, which will recast The Dark Knight. Here are 7 upcoming DC movies with official release dates. Shazam next month on April 5th. James Wan made the move from horror hits like Saw and The Conjuring to blockbusters like Furious 7 and Aquaman. Okay. Director David Sandberg, known for Lights Out and Annabelle creation, is doing the same with Shazam. In April, the movie follows a young boy named Billy Batson, played by Asher Angel, who gains the ability to turn into an adult superhero played by Zachary Levi. Chuck! Shout out to Chuck. Great TV show. By shouting the magic word Shazam. Okay. And we've seen that trailer. I'm looking forward to seeing that film. So apparently this October we're going to get a Joker film, but this Joker film is with Joaquin Phoenix. I don't know why there's going to be two different Joker movies, but okay. The Hangover director Todd Phillips is directing this origin story based on Batman's deadliest foe, the Joker, played by Joaquin Phoenix. The movie is expected to be a gritty crime drama Martin Scorsese was once attached to produce and has no connection to previous movies. Okay. Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn. That's next year, February 7th, 2020. Margot Robbie is reprising her Suicide Squad role of Harley Quinn, but this time she's teaming up with an all-female crew of Gotham City vigilantes such as Huntress, played by Mary Elizabeth Winstead, Black Canary, played by Journey Smollett-Bell, and Renee Montoya, played by Rosie Perez, to take down the crime boss Black Mask, played by Ewan McGregor. Never knew how to say his name. Wonder Woman 1984, which was supposed to come out this year, apparently it's been pushed to June 5th of 2020. Wonder Woman, directed by Patty Jenkins, is returning for this sequel set during the Cold War. Gal Gadot is also returning to the title role, as well as Chris Pine and Steve Trevor. Kristen Wiig will play the villain Cheetah. Okay. The movie was originally scheduled for this November, right, but was moved to summer 2020. The first movie, which opened in June 2017, grossed $21 million. That's awesome. Worldwide, and is the best reviewed DC Extended Universe movie yet, with the 93% Rotten Tomatoes critic score, which is cool. The Batman will be June 25th, 2021. War for the Planet of the Apes director Matt Reeves is directing the next Batman movie, which will recast the character Ben Affleck, who played the Dark Knight in Batman vs. Superman, Suicide Squad, and Justice League, is stepping away from the role. Reeves reportedly wants a younger actor for the part, according to multiple outlets, including The Hollywood Reporter and Deadline. The Suicide Squad, part 2, August 6, 2021. So, and I don't know why it's taking so long for this film. It should have been done already. After being fired by Disney last year from Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy 3, when offensive tweets resurfaced, James Gunn was quickly hired to write and possibly direct the Suicide Squad sequel. Gunn wants to focus on a fresh cast of characters aside from Harley Quinn and Deadshot. Idris Elba is replacing Will Smith as the latter. Okay. According to the Hollywood Reporter, rumors have circulated online that Guardians of the Galaxy star Dave Bautista is in talks for a role, but Warner Brothers told Business Insider it has not had discussions with him. Aquaman 2, December 16th, 2022. Right on. Fans will have to wait longer than expected for the Aquaman sequel, which is set to swim into theaters in December 2022. But in the meantime, the Trench spinoff is expected to arrive before that. Aquaman producer Peter Safran told The Hollywood Reporter. Okay. So there are those films. So we have to wait a while for the Aquaman film. No mention of Flash. No mention of Superman. We should have had a sequel to that too. So there that is. The entertainment news, I tell you. Let's see. More current news. This is just happening now. Well, just getting this report, it looks like. Police rushed to R. Kelly's apartment amid fears his girlfriends had carried out suicide pact. Chicago police rushed to R. Kelly's Trump Tower condo Tuesday evening and feared that his girlfriends were attempting to carry out a suicide pact. It later proved to be a false alarm. Okay, that's good. In a police radio call shared online, a dispatcher received an anonymous call can be heard telling officers that Kelly's girlfriend, Azriel Clary, and 4 other women who are victims of R. Kelly are planning to carry out a suicide pact at one of the condos at Trump Tower. The anonymous caller, however, did not specify when the alleged suicide would take place or give a specific unit number. Emergency responders arrived on the 400 block of North Wabash just before 5:30 p.m. The Chicago Police Department confirmed to People in a statement. Police received a call from an out-of-state anonymous caller stating that people at the location were going to carry out a suicide pact. Police on the scene conducting a wellness check, and it is not a bona fide incident, the statement said. When asked to comment, Kelly's lawyer, Steve Greenberg, told People, "It is offensive that anyone gives us any credibility." Prior to the release of Lifetime's documentary series Surviving R. Kelly in January, one of Kelly's early alleged victims, Lizette Martinez, spoke to People and claimed Kelly had a suicide pact with the women living in his house. I was the beginning of the predatory behavior. I met him after he married Aaliyah. I had it bad, but what I hear today is that he's taking this to a whole other level. I'm so worried about the young women in the house, Martinez said. I mean, my anxiety is constantly through the roof because I hear the parents. I hear there's a plan in place that he's put into place that if something goes down, they're all going to take pills and kill. I just can't. I just don't understand it. I'm so worried about them. It just breaks my heart. I'm so angry with him, Martinez added. Last week, Clary, 21, and Kelly's other girlfriend, Jocelyn Savage, came to the disgraced singer's defense during an interview with Gayle King for CBS This Morning. Wow. In an emotional clip from the conversation, both women denied the singer tore them away from their now estranged families after already denying claims that Kelly has been holding them hostage in his home for years. The parents of both Savage, 23, and Clary claim the women are living with Kelly against their will and are part of what the parents describe as his sex cult. Then it says, I'm crying because you guys don't know the truth, Clary said to King, 64. You guys are believing some effing facade that our parents are saying. This is all effing lies for money. If you can't see that, you're ignorant and you're stupid. Wow. Claire's parents, Alice and Angelo, were interviewed in the explosive documentary Surviving R. Kelly, claiming they haven't had contact with their daughter for nearly 3 years. Savage's parents, Timothy and Jonjalyn, were also interviewed in the series where they revealed they believe Kelly is holding their daughter against her will. During the interview with King, Clary, who first met Kelly when she was 17, claimed she never had sex with the singer while she was underage, but that her parents pushed her to take photos and videos of a sexual nature with him so they could use them as blackmail should they ever need to. Clay's parents, Alice and Angelo, released a statement via their attorney Michael Avenatti on March 7th, shortly after the interview aired, claiming their daughter's presumably... one second. I was reading that. Presumably, hold on. Lost my little note here. Let's see, where were we? I was in mid-sentence too. We'll go back and reread that part. So, Claire's parents, Alice and Angelo, released a statement via their attorney, Michael Avenatti, on March 7th, shortly after the interview aired, claiming their daughter is presently suffering from years of mental abuse and manipulation by R. Kelly, as they denied the allegations made against them. Azriel Clary is presently suffering from years of mental abuse and manipulation by R. Kelly, the statement read. Sadly, like so many girls before them, Azriel and Joycelyn Savage had been manipulated and convinced by Kelly to protect him from serious criminal charges. Azriel's parents never attempted to blackmail anyone and never suggested their daughter take nude photos or sexual videos, as they have never asked R. Kelly for a single penny. These are absolute lies fabricated by R. Kelly, and we have evidence to show that these claims are bogus. Wow. Backing up Clary's claims, Savage told King, our parents are basically out here just to get money and scam because they didn't agree on what happened with music or whatever it could be, and they're just very upset. When Kelly sat down with King, he struggled to contain his emotions when speaking out about his real relationship with young women. I love them, and it's almost like they're my girlfriends. Kelly said, it's like, we have a relationship. It's real, and I know guys. I've known guys all my life that have 5 or 6 women, okay? So don't go there on me, okay, because that's the truth. Although Kelly has been accused of engaging in sexual acts with a minor, he alluded to the fact that Savage and Clary are both of age when King inquired about the 30-year gap between the women and the singer. Wow, 30-year gap. I don't look at much younger than me. I just look at legal, that I just look at, I just look at you, I'm me. Now, I don't know if you're married. I don't know if you had a relationship. I don't know, but one might be older than the other. One might be younger than the other. Okay, so I just look at legal, okay? There are older men that like younger women. There are younger men that like older men. I'm an older man that loves all women. Kelly was released from jail on February 25th after being charged with 10 counts of aggravated criminal sexual abuse against 4 alleged victims. The Cook County Sheriff confirmed to People magazine. The R&B singer secured his release by paying 10% of his $1 million bill amount. Hours earlier, Kelly's attorney, Stephen Greenberg, pleaded not guilty on Kelly's behalf, reported to the Associated Press. Last week, Kelly was arrested again for failure to pay outstanding child support. We're going to talk more on this story after this break.
Want to find out what movies to go see? Then check out the GSMC Movie Podcast. It's your ticket to the latest movies, whether it's a new blockbuster event, romantic, comedy, or action flick. This show has got it all covered. They talk some what to go see now. Don't bother. What's hot on Netflix and everything in between. That's GSMCpodcast.com/movie-podcast. When it's all about the movies, it has to be this new show. Don't forget to like them on Facebook and follow them on Twitter. Visit GSMCpodcast.com for more info.
Once again, you're listening to GSMC's Entertainment Podcast. Captain Keith, and we are doing the Entertainment Podcast, and right now we are focusing on Kells, Mr. Robert Kelly, aka R. Kelly. He's made quite the news this year so far, quite a stir, and it's not even April yet, it's not even June yet. Oh my! So last week, R. Kelly was arrested again for failure to pay outstanding child support. Cook County Sheriff's Office spokeswoman Sophia Ansari confirmed to People that Kelly was transferred to the county jail. He was released from jail on March 9th after a payment for the $161,000 in back child support he owed was made anonymously on his behalf. And in more entertainment news, let's get to it. So, since we're going with the theme of R. Kelly here, might as well keep on going. R. Kelly got Aaliyah pregnant and slept with her mother, according to Lisa Van Allen. Oh my. So this is the part of the R. Kelly, Aaliyah, and Mom, oh my, part of the podcast episode. Lisa Van Allen says that R. Kelly was having sex with Aaliyah's mother while Aaliyah was in the other room. At the rate that things have been going, can we even say that we're surprised about this new bit of information, right? During an interview with DJ Vlad, who always manages to get the deepest and dirtiest secrets out of people, Lisa Van Allen spoke about R. Kelly and shared some things he told her in confidence when they were close. As you can probably imagine, none of it is good. There is a decade-old rumor that Aaliyah and R. Kelly got married because the I Believe I Can Fly singer had gotten her pregnant when she was 15 years old. According to Van Allen, that's a fact. During her sit-down with Vlad, she confirmed that Kelly had told her that the reason they got married and lied about Aaliyah's age was so that Kelly wouldn't be charged while they waited to get an abortion. After that, they planned to get an annulment. Lisa Van Allen dropped an even bigger bombshell after that, though. She claims that Kelly used to brag to her that he was having sex with Aaliyah, and then when she would go to bed, he would go on to have sex with Aaliyah's mother. This is the first time that many of us have heard about this allegation, and it could be a potential explanation as to why Aaliyah's parents have always supported R. Kelly, right? He actually stayed at their home in Detroit, said Van Allen, referring to Aaliyah's parents' residence. And Aaliyah's mother was sexually attracted to him as well. And R. Kelly said when Aaliyah would go to sleep, that he would go in the living room and him and her would do sexual acts on the couch while Aaliyah was sleeping in the bedroom. Obviously, these allegations were extreme, but according to Van Allen, they come straight from the singer's mouth. What do you think? Well, what's that saying? If it looks like a duck and sounds like a duck and walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, well, what is it then? And in more entertainment news, Mike Tyson wouldn't want Michael Jackson hanging around his kids. Wow. Picture of Mr. Mike. He looks older. He's got a nice little salt and pepper beard, and he's got his tattoos on his eye. That tattoo on his eye still. Let's see. Tyson made the comments on Michael Rappaport's podcast. Michael Jackson has been a pretty hot topic in the culture as of late, thanks to the HBO documentary Leaving Neverland. Old accusations of sexual abuse on minors have been brought back to the spotlight in a big way. Almost everybody has weighed in on how they feel about the documentary, with many feeling as though it was more of a hit piece than an investigation. Yeah, it definitely has divided people in regards to how they feel about Michael Jackson and the documentary itself. One of the people weighing in on the documentary is none other than legendary boxer Mike Tyson, who spoke about it all with Michael Rappaport on his podcast. The parents had to be responsible for that crap, censor. Just thought that the fact that these kids, Michael is telling them, if anyone knows about this, we're both going to go to prison forever. It was just really horrible, Tyson said. I have an 8-year-old kid. I wouldn't let Michael hang out with my kid. I wouldn't let my kid go over Michael's house. I love Michael. You know what I mean? Michael has a reputation of this. Tyson also expressed sympathy for the victims, but noted that the timing of it all seems fairly suspect. Whatever happened when Robson and Safechuck was kids is wrong, Tyson explained. What you're doing now is even wrong. Coming out saying this stuff, it comes across that these are guys just out to get some money. Yeah, so I still have to watch the documentary. I'm in no hurry, but I will watch it eventually. So there that is from Mr. Tyson. Weighs in on the whole situation. Okay. Breaking down the accusations against Felicity Huffman and Lori Loughlin in college admissions bribery scam. That's right, good people of planet Earth and the known universe. We're at the part of the episode, this podcast episode, we're at that part. Celebrity mom crimes. Celebrity mom crimes. Oh, man. So, fans were stunned on Tuesday when Felicity Huffman and Lori Loughlin were among 50 people indicted in a massive college admissions cheating scam. Say it ain't so. Desperate housewife, mom, Full House mom, busted. Huffman was charged with conspiracy to commit mail fraud and honest services fraud for allegedly paying money to help get her eldest daughter with husband William H. Macy, 18-year-old Sophia, into an elite college. A spokeswoman for the FBI confirmed to Entertainment Tonight that Huffman was arrested on Tuesday morning without incident at her Los Angeles area home. I mean, no one ever saw any of this coming. And I wouldn't be surprised if this has been a long-standing practice and that these two ladies happen just to be the ones who get caught. So, to be fair. Meanwhile, there is an arrest warrant out for Loughlin, who was out of town and not at her house when authorities showed up. This is so surreal. This is weird. Wow. Entertainment Tonight obtained the lengthy indictment on Tuesday, which details the allegations against the dozens of people who are accused of paying thousands of dollars to get their child into elite schools across the country, including the University of Southern California, USC, Georgetown, Yale, and Stanford. Wow. I mean, according to the federal court papers obtained, Huffman and Macy made a $15,000 charity contribution to Key Worldwide Foundation, KWF, which the FBI alleges is a fake nonprofit set up by the scam's ringleader to launder money from the parents to participate in a college entrance exam cheating scam on behalf of Sophia. The court papers allege that a cooperating witness who participated in the scam told law enforcement agents that prior to Sophia taking the December 2017 SAT, the witness met with Huffman and Macy at their home in Los Angeles and explained how the college entrance exam scam worked. The witness alleges he advised the two that he controlled a testing center and could arrange for a third party to proctor their daughter's SAT and secretly correct her answers afterward. The witness alleges the couple agreed to the plan. Man, this is all a trip. According to the court papers, during the summer of 2017, Huffman and the witness exchanged multiple emails about how to obtain extra time on the SAT for both Sophia and her younger daughter, 16-year-old Georgia. When Sophia's extra time was approved, Sophia's high school counselor told Huffman that she would proctor the test on December 4th and 5th. Huffman then allegedly forwarded the email to the witness and wrote, "Ruh-roh, looks like my daughter's high school wants to provide own proctor," to which the witness replied, "We will speak about it." The two then allegedly agreed to tell the school Sophia would take the test at a different location on December 2nd and December 3rd, a Saturday and Sunday, so she would not miss any school. After Sophia's test location was changed to the West Hollywood Test Center, a second witness now cooperating with law enforcement alleges that he flew from Tampa, Florida to LA to proctor the test and facilitated cheating either by correcting the student's answers or by actively assisting the student during the exam. Court papers state that Huffman's daughter ended up receiving a 1420 on the SAT, an improvement of approximately 400 points over her PSAT, which was taken without the alleged cheating. Wow. After Huffman and Macy allegedly gave a $15,000 donation to KWF on February 27, 2018, court papers state that the couple received a letter falsely stating that no goods or services were exchanged for the $15,000. In a recorded telephone conversation on October 23, 2018, Huffman allegedly discussed repeating the SAT scheme for her daughter Georgia in another call. On November 12, 2018, Huffman allegedly said she wanted to proceed with the cheating scheme, again for a cost of $15,000, but only after Georgia took the test on her own. However, Huffman ultimately backed out after expressing concern that a dramatic increase in Georgia's score would cause her SAT tutor to suspect cheating. Wow. Celebrity moms. Who knew? Celebrity moms committing crimes. Lori Loughlin. Law enforcement officials are accusing Loughlin and Giannulli, I guess her husband, of agreeing to pay bribes totaling $500,000 in exchange for having their two daughters, 20-year-old Isabella and 19-year-old Olivia, designated as recruits to the USC crew team, despite not actually participating in crew. Seriously? Wow. In an email to a witness now cooperating with the FBI, Giannulli allegedly wrote, "We just met with our older daughter's college counselor this AM. I'd like to maybe sit with you after your session with the girls, as I have some concerns and want to fully understand the game plan and to make sure we have a roadmap for success as it relates to our daughter and getting her into a school other than ASU." After Giannulli was advised that Isabella's academic qualifications were at the low end of the USC's admission standards, Giannulli allegedly agreed to use bribes to facilitate her admission. As a recruited crew coxswain, though, she did not row competitively or participate in crew. On September 7, 2016, Giannulli allegedly sent an email to the witness with a photo attached of Isabella on an ergometer. Isabella was then presented to the USC subcommittee by Donna Heinel, Senior Woman Associate Athletic Director of USC Athletics for Athletic Admissions, as purported crew recruit on October 27, 2016. At the meeting, the subcommittee approved Isabella's conditional admission to the university. Giannulli allegedly paid Heinel $50,000 after Isabella got her formal USC acceptance letter. Giannulli then allegedly paid KWF $200,000. Wow. And there are people who don't have money who depend on those type of scholarships. Just saying. On April 10th, 2017 email, Giannulli allegedly sent an email copying Loughlin, which read, "Trojan Happiness" in the email subject line. "I want to thank you again for your great work with our older daughter. She is very excited, and both Lori and I are very appreciative of your efforts and end result," the email allegedly reads. According to the court papers, Giannulli and Loughlin repeated The same exact scheme for their younger daughter, Olivia, presenting her falsely as a crew coxswain for the L.A. Marina Club team, and sending an action picture of her on an ergometer, or ergometer, however you say that. Olivia was also conditionally admitted to USC, and the couple again allegedly paid $50,000 to Heino and made another $200,000 donation to KWF. Wow, seriously? More on the story after this break.
Tired of searching the vast jungle of podcasts? Now listen close and hear this out. There's a podcast network that covers just about everything that you've been searching. The Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network is here. Nothing less than a podcast bliss with endless hours of podcast coverage. From news, sports, music, fashion, cooking, entertainment, fantasy, football, and so much more. So stop lurking around and go straight out to the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. Guaranteed to fill that podcast itch. Whatever it may be. Visit us at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and download us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play.
And once again, you're listening to GSMC's Entertainment Podcast. This is your Captain Keith, and we are discussing celebrity mom crimes. The Lori Loughlin part of the story. Loughlin later allegedly emailed the witness again when a guidance counselor got suspicious of Olivia's athletic recruitment to USC and was concerned that her application contained misleading information. Loughlin allegedly requested guidance on how to complete the formal USC application in the wake of her daughter's provisional acceptance as a recruited athlete. Our youngest daughter has not submitted all her college apps and confused on how to do so, Loughlin's email allegedly reads. I want to make sure she gets those in, as I do not want to call any attention to her and our little friend at her high school. Can you tell us how to proceed? Applications were then allegedly submitted on behalf of Olivia by an employee of the witness. Court papers state that after the Gianellis made their two $200,000 payments to KWF, the organization falsely indicated that no goods or services were exchanged for the purported donations. Wow. Huh. Wow. Now I was just determining whether or not I was going to read an early interview that Lori Loughlin did with Entertainment Tonight in 2016, but I mean, it's not going to hurt. I'll read what she said, 3 years ago. I want them to be happy, Loughlin said. I want to be supportive of everything they want to do, but I do want them to have somewhat of a normal life. Finish out high school, college experience, maybe because I didn't have that. I really want that for them. And I also say to them, try to have something else right now because there's so much crossover in the business. So try to do something else where you have a little more control over your own destiny. For me, when I started my career, it was always, here's your audition, go in, do the best job you can. And 9 times out of 10, you didn't get the job. And then more entertainment news. Michael Jackson's niece, also Wade Robson's ex, sickened by his accusations. This picture of Michael Jackson's niece with her dad, I believe, Jackie Jackson. Let's see. Brandy Jackson doesn't believe a word her ex said in Leaving Neverland. There is still a divide between those that believe Wade Robson and James Safechuck, the men at the center of HBO's harrowing Leaving Neverland documentary. In the 2-part series, the men spoke about their relationships with Michael Jackson when they were children, describing in jaw-dropping detail how they allegedly endured sexual abuse by the King of Pop. Members of Jackson's family have come forward to deny the claims and adding her name to the list as Brandy Jackson, daughter to Jackson's brother, Jackie. According to Brandy, she and Robson were once in a romantic relationship, and in a recent interview with the Kyle and Jackie O show, Brandy publicly spoke out against Robson and defended her uncle, who she said it was no pedophile. When I was watching Leaving Neverland, I was completely sickened by it. To be honest with you, the things that he was saying were so over the top and so ridiculous. She said, Wade was not describing my uncle. He was describing a totally different person, but not my uncle. And that's why this is a narrative that has changed over the last 15 years. Everything that he's ever said about my uncle is the complete opposite of who he was painting in this documentary. Robson testified on behalf of Jackson twice in the past, both in 1993 and in 2005, saying under oath that the music icon never sexually abused him. The famed choreographer made reference to those incidences in Leaving Neverland, saying that he felt the need to lie on the stand because he was afraid that both he and Jackson would go to jail. Suggestion Jackson allegedly told him during the years that he was being molested. Wow. Part of what I have to say to that is, with Wade saying that he was afraid he and Michael would go to jail if he revealed the abuse. Wade was a grown man when he testified the second time, Brandy said. And if someone had been anally penetrating you and anally abusing you when you were 14 years old, and you had a chance to go on the stand and put them away for the rest of his life so that he couldn't hurt anyone else, you'd do it. You would. Yes, usually, but people can be traumatized. And, you know, we can't dictate and determine when people are supposed to get over that kind of trauma. And I can understand when he was a child if he was too afraid to do such a thing. That makes sense. But as a grown man, it doesn't. Brandy also said that she hasn't spoken to Wade since the documentary aired, but she has been a shoulder to lean on for her cousins, Jackson's children. They don't remember these things from 2005, the People vs. Jackson criminal trial, which resulted in Michael being found not guilty of molesting Gavin Arvizo. They didn't have to go through it in that way, she said. So I think that this is their first wave of having to deal with this, and I feel very bad for them, especially since Michael is not here to talk them through it and explain to them what this is about. Okay. Felicity Huffman released on $250,000 bond after a college bribery arrest. Okay, it's a nice picture of her here. More details of Huffman's arrest and college admissions bribery case. Desperate Housewives star Felicity Huffman and former Full House actress Lori Loughlin were among the 46 people charged in the $25 million college entrance exam cheating scheme on Tuesday. According to reports, Huffman allegedly paid William Rick Singer to illegally boost her daughter Sophia's score on the SAT exams by 400 points. Huffman was held on $250,000 bond and had to surrender her passport. Huffman and her husband, Shameless star William H. Macy, allegedly made a charitable donation of $15,000 to participate in the college entrance exam cheating scheme on behalf of her oldest daughter. The investigation suggests Huffman later made arrangements to pursue the scheme a second time for a younger daughter before deciding not to do so. Lori Loughlin, a.k.a. Aunt Becky, and her husband reportedly agreed to pay bribes totaling $500,000 in exchange for having their two daughters designated as recruits to the USC crew team, despite the fact that they weren't on any crew teams. In addition, Huffman and Loughlin, CEOs and college coaches, were also indicted on Tuesday for allegedly participating in the scheme, focused on getting students admitted to elite universities as recruited athletes, regardless of their athletic abilities, and helping potential students cheat on their college exams. So you heard that, folks. CEOs and college coaches were also indicted. You're just hearing about Miss Huffman and Miss Loughlin because they're famous. But yeah, so it's not just them. And in more entertainment news, Nick Jonas surprises Priyanka Chopra with luxurious new Maybach. Best husband ever. Okay. Let's see. The sucker singer proved once again that he is head over heels for his wife, Priyanka Chopra Jonas. On Tuesday, the former Chronicle star took to Instagram to show off her new present that her hubby gifted her after his new single with the Jonas Brothers went straight to #1. That's right, they are doing a reunion. That's right. When the hubby goes #1, the wifey gets a Maybach, introducing extra chopper, Jonas. Ha ha, I love you, baby. Yay, best husband ever, at Nick Jonas. Smiling face, heart, and lips. Chopper 36 roll alongside 2 photos of her and her man kissing in front of the snazzy car. Jonas is seen holding a bottle of champagne while his lady love has her dog in her arms. It's a good time to be Nick, who recently reunited with his brothers Kevin and Joe Jonas to get the band back together. Chopper, as well as her fellow Jonas sisters-in-law, Sophie Turner and Danielle Jonas, also got to star in the fabulous Alice in Wonderland-inspired Sucker music video. All last week, the Joe Bros took over the Late Late Show, co-hosting with James Corden. The trio did a hilarious carpool karaoke segment where they revealed that it was Nick who broke up the band in the first place, and Kevin was furious with Nick after he left them. Nick even joked about his many weddings with Chopra. Okay. And in more news, people will surprise you just when you think, there's no other, No, let me stop. Roseanne Barr says Michelle Obama is the reason ABC kicked her to the curb. Yeah, the former First Lady. Yeah, not the racist comments that you made on Twitter. There's a picture of Roseanne giving a side eye. And it's spliced next to a picture of Michelle Obama smiling. But Roseanne Barr is certain that former First Lady Michelle Obama is to blame for getting fired last year from the reboot of her series. Okay. On ABC. You recall how Barr made a racist joke on Twitter about former White House advisor Valerie Jarrett, comparing her to the Muslim Brotherhood and the Planet of the Apes? I mean, first of all, why would you say that about any woman? Just saying. Or any person. That's just wrong. The backlash was swift and unforgiving, and despite her apology for the offensive statement, ABC canceled Roseanne. Now, after stewing over it for a year, the comedian feels it's all Obama's fault. Michelle said, "This tweet is unforgivable," Roseanne told Britain's The Sunday Times magazine. That's what I was told, and I tend to believe it, because the woman who fired me is now working with the Obamas at Netflix. Okay. And there's a picture of Roseanne screaming, and they pieced it right next to a picture of Valerie Jarrett. The woman she is referring to is former ABC Entertainment president Channing Dungey, who was responsible for canceling Roseanne. Netflix hired her late last year to develop original programming, including content from the Obamas' Higher Ground Productions. Barr tells Sunday Times that she blames a mixture of Ambien and booze for the controversial tweet, but her actual firing, she believes, is all Obama's fault. As noted by AOL.com, while she admits that the tweet was a very stupid thing, you think? She claims it was intended to be an attack on the Obama administration's ties to Iran. She also reckons that the Iran-born Jarrett may be Muslim. "I should have written it backwards," she said. "It came out dyslexic. It should have been Valerie Jarrett's ties to the Muslim Brotherhood have now allowed Iran's government to remain, as in the movie Planet of the Apes." Let it go, Roseanne. Let's let it go. You're just making it worse. Let it go. At the end of the day, all that had to be done was nothing to be said. Nothing to be said. And the Roseanne Show would still be here. Just saying. In addition to Obama's influence, Barr believes anti-Semitic attitudes are at the root of what prompted her termination. Okay. So you make a racist comment about a black woman, comparing her to an ape, and then you get fired. But now you believe you got fired because you're Jewish. All right. Just checking here. Just want to make sure I'm getting this straight. They wanted to take a Jew down, she told the Times. They wanted to take down the Zionists because they think the Zionists are the problem with everything in the world. And a lot of people in this country think like them. Wow. Barr also accused ABC of taking issue with her support of Donald Trump. Okay, but here's the thing, though, because, being a woman who is Jewish, you would think that you would probably be the last person to make a racist joke about a black woman on Twitter, right? More on this story after this break. Man.
Golden State Media Concepts bring you Book Review Podcast, a haven for bookworms of all ages and the widest genres, from mystery to memoirs, romance to comedy, fantasy to sci-fi. If you love to read, this is a podcast for you. It's the Golden State Media Concepts Book Review Podcast.
Once again, you're listening to Golden State Media Concepts Entertainment Podcast. It's your Captain Keith. And we're reporting on Roseanne Barr right now. Okay. So Barr also accused ABC of taking issue with her support of Donald Trump. They hate powerful women and they hate powerful, deplorable women. And I do consider myself deplorable, she said. Deplorable is the greatest thing Hillary Clinton ever called us because it empowered a revolution. We are deplorable to her kind. Of course, all working class people are deplorable to her because it was working class people that elected Trump. Okay. So Roseanne checked in for us. That's her check-in for today. Okay. All righty. And in more news, Frida Foreman, George Foreman's daughter, reportedly died from suicide at age 42. We now have more news as to the cause of death of Frida Foreman, the 42-year-old daughter of famed ex-heavyweight champion George Foreman. Reportedly, it was suicide. As was reported earlier, Frida Foreman, whose middle name is also George, was found unresponsive in her home by a family member. The Harris County Sheriff's Office confirmed that officers were called to her Estacita, Texas residence around 6:13 p.m. local time on Friday night. Estacita EMS were at the home and determined the woman, Frida George Foreman, was deceased, police said. Harris County Sheriff's Office homicide investigation also responded to the scene. Preliminary indications are that the cause of death is an apparent suicide. A final determination of the cause of death will be made by the Harris County Institute of Forensic Sciences. It's very sad. As of this posting, the former world heavyweight champion has not spoken publicly on his daughter's death. However, he tweeted Sunday morning about how heaven sends so many wonders. Heaven sends so many wonders, too many to have questions about one thing or event in my life. Lipizzaner colt just born on the ranch, he wrote, alongside a photo of a newborn horse standing beside a fully grown horse. Frida Foreman, like her famous father, was a boxer as well. But unlike his decades-long career, hers was very short. She started boxing professionally in 2000 and retired the next year with a record of 5-1, according to the Houston Chronicle. He flat out doesn't like it, Frida said in an interview with the New York Times, which took place before her string of fights. But I do have his love and support. That's what counts. As reported by TMZ, Frida Foreman is survived by her husband, 2 daughters, 3 grandchildren, her parents, and 9 siblings. It's so sad. And in more news, quote, I'll F you and your wife up, OKC's Russell Westbrook, to Utah Jazz fan. And I saw the video of this. It was a trip. I swear to God, I'll F you up and your wife, I'll F you up. Those were the extremely profane words that came out of the mouth of OKC Thunder star point guard Russell Westbrook, which were directed at a Utah Jazz fan in the second quarter on Monday night's game. Shane Kiesel is the Utah fan who was the object of Westbrook's ire And you won't be surprised to learn that he's denying saying anything that would have been inappropriate or racist. Of course. He says he only yelled out, "Ice those knees up." Yeah, okay. Kiesel 45 says his wife never said anything, but the Thunder player went in on her too. She never got up. She never stood up. She never said a word to him, the fan told ESPN after the game. I mean, it's all fine. We're having fun and games with the guy, and we're talking, but at the end of the day, no man should threaten a woman, period. I'm not afraid of the guy. Come on up. But when you threaten a woman that's 5 feet tall and 110 pounds, you're a big man. So this guy needs to be exposed. Meanwhile, Westbrook says he heard what he heard and has no problem going after Kiesel, who he says shouted out these racially charged words. Get down on your knees like you're used to. Wow. For me, I'm just not going to continue to take disrespect from my family, Westbrook told reporters after the game. And if I had to do it again, I would say the same exact thing, because I truly will stand up for myself, for my family, for my kids, for my wife, for my mom, for my dad, every single time. I expect anybody else to do the same. So that's kind of where I'm at with the whole situation. As for beating up his wife, I've never put my hand on a woman. I never will. Never been in any domestic violence before. Never had before. But once he said the comment, his wife repeated the same thing to me as well. So that's kind of how that started. Wow. Nasty. In response to the incident, the Jazz released this statement. We are continuing to investigate the unfortunate exchange of tonight's game between Russell Westbrook and fans. The statement also said multiple warning cards were issued by arena security. Players and fans have a shared responsibility to create a safe and respectful environment. If it is determined that any fans violated the NBA code of conduct, appropriate action will be taken. That's what I'm talking about. See, there you go. When you go to a professional game, okay, if you boo people, that's fine. Players are used to being booed. But when you tell somebody to get down on their knees like they're used to, well, you found out, everybody's not the same. Some people can walk the other way and ignore that, and some people won't. So you have to be prepared for the consequences of what you say. So, and on the other hand, too, that goes for the, players have to be careful what they say too. But if you provoke a player, if you hit below the belt, then you cannot be surprised. They're human. So, I mean, it's an unfortunate situation. This is supposed to be just a basketball game and a professional rivalry, and none of that should have happened, period. So it's very unfortunate. So that's all I'll say. But, don't harass players, because we've seen in previous reports, certain players will come out in the crowd and they will punch you. So, you can't I don't care who you are. As a human being, you got to be careful what you say to people, because you don't know who they are and you don't know if they're crazy or not. So whether it's a player or a fan. So just saying. Selena Gomez admits she's nervous about her new album. Picture of Miss Gomez. Selena Gomez has confirmed that a new album is in the works, but she's a little nervous about it. The 26-year-old singer has been spotted at the studio multiple times in recent months, fueling speculation that an album might be dropping soon. Amid the chatter, Gomez took to Instagram Live this week to give her fans an update on her new music. I'm currently in the studio right now, she said. It's going really good. Gomez went on to admit, I'm just nervous about it, honestly, because I feel like the next few choices that I'm going to make are very crucial, so I'm trying to be really, really diligent and just patient with everything. While an album release date is still unknown, Gomez has been featured on 2 new songs recently. In late January, Gomez collabed with Julia Michaels was released. Her collab with Julia Michaels was released. The duo teamed up on the track Anxiety off of Michaels' new EP, Inner Monologue Part 1. So we look forward to hearing her new album when it comes out. And in more entertainment news, Jose Canseco's ex-wife sets the record straight on Alex Rodriguez's cheating claim. Picture of Jose, Jessica, and Alex. Jessica Canseco sounds off on cheating allegations her ex-husband made about her and Alex Rodriguez. Those false accusations Jose Canseco is making are not true, she claims on Twitter. I have known Alex for many years and haven't seen him for over 5. I certainly did not sleep with him. I am friendly with both him and Jennifer Lopez. As for Jose, he can keep playing with his alien friends. What does that mean? The 46-year-old author explains she specifically re-downloaded the Twitter app in order to set the record straight about the infidelity rumors. In fact, I don't even get on Twitter. Had to download app again and don't watch TV. Had no idea any of this was going on, she admits. Last time I saw Alex, he was with Tori Wilson, and I brought my boyfriend over for dinner. We are just friends. My God. For those who haven't been following the drama, here's the tea. Earlier this week, both A-Rod and J-Lo announced their engagement, right? She said yes. The former professional baseball player captioned his Instagram post where she showed off her massive diamond ring. And yes, Ms. Lopez will be getting married for the 4th time. Oh, yeah. The newly engaged couple have been sharing snippets of the romantic getaway, including the moment Alex popped the big question. Taking to Instagram stories, the sportscaster's message stated, "There aren't many words to share with you, only feelings, gratitude, excitement, and just joy. We know there is work to do to keep building a family and future we can be proud of, and we can't do it without all of you. We are so thankful for all of your messages of love and congratulations." Not long after the famous pair announced the exciting news, Jose Canseco took to Twitter to share his less enthusiastic feelings over it. Basically, shots were fired and punches were thrown. Watching World of Dance, watching J-Lo text Alex Rodriguez, little does she know that he is cheating on her with my ex-wife, Jessica. Poor girl. She has no idea who he really is, he alleged. Following his initial post, he wrote, "I was there for a few months back with her when he called her on the phone," adding, "Alex Rodriguez, stop being a piece of crap. Censor. Stop cheating on Jennifer Lopez." Both Alex and J-Lo have yet to comment on Canseco's cheating claims, but honestly, they're probably too busy enjoying their engagement. Oh, man. Oh, yeah. Lupita Nyong'o reveals why she felt panicked while making Us. Lupita Nyong'o is an Oscar winner and one of Hollywood's most sought-after and celebrated actresses. But even for her, the daunting prospect of playing 2 rival characters in the same film got under her skin. E.T.'s Nichelle Turner spoke with the 36-year-old actress on yesterday, as she was promoting her upcoming horror film, Us, and she opened up about working with director Jordan Peele and why she almost backed out of playing the lead role. "Whenever I start a film, I'm my worst enemy for sure, and this film was no different." Nyong'o explained, "For a second there, I really was worried for myself that I would give up and buckle and just be like, Jordan, I think you need to find another actor because I just don't have what it takes." In the film, Nyong'o plays Adelaide, a wife, mother, whose family finds themselves trapped and terrorized by a group of murderous doppelgangers, whose very existence leads down a twisted rabbit hole of mystery and terror. "I was playing not 1 but 2 characters in the same movie, and I was panicked because usually I have the time it takes to prepare for one film, and even then the critic in my head is powerful, and she knows how to freak me out." Nyong'o added, "It took having people I love around me who could remind me of the things I wasn't able to see for myself, and to build that confidence." Despite her trepidation, the actress said that one of the things that most attracted her to the frightening project was the chance to work with Peele, whose directorial debut, Get Out, has become an instant thriller classic and was nominated for 4 Oscars, including Best Picture. Peele himself took home one of the coveted golden statues for penning the film's screenplay. "He was someone I admired from Key and Peele, and working with him was on my bucket list," Nyong'o explained. "He's so talented, so funny, so cool, and I was like, oh, I would kill to work with him." Then a few months later, he's like, "Here's a script, and you get to work with me twice," she recalled, referring to the fact that she played 2 completely different characters in the film. And I was like, While she got the chance to work with Peele for the first time in Us, the movie served as an opportunity for Nyong'o to reunite with her Black Panther co-star Winston Duke, who plays her husband this time around. To have Winston as my scene partner was such a comfort because we went to the same school, we speak the same dramatic language because of that, and we have Black Panther behind us, she shared. So we have a friendship. We have an intimacy that's unbreakable. It's nice to say. I could trust him and go to dangerous places, and I knew he was there to really support my process, and I could support his, she added. Peele's hotly anticipated Us, which also stars Shahidi Wright, Joseph, and Evan Alex, Elizabeth Moss, and Tim Heidecker, hits theaters March 22nd. So there you go, folks. Well, good people of the planet Earth and the known universe, it's time. Well, okay, I'll give you one more story. Do you miss the Keeping Up with Kanye days? Because right now it's all about R. Kelly what? Parents of R. Kelly's girlfriend, Azriel Clary, explained why they let her go on tour with him when she was 17. Here we go. The parents of one of R. Kelly's living girlfriends, 21-year-old Azriel Clary, are opening up about attempting to get their daughter to come back home. Alice and Angelo Clary sat down with Gayle King for an interview that aired on CBS this morning on Wednesday. Today. The Clarys have claimed that their daughter, who lives with Kelly at his home in Chicago, has been brainwashed by 52-year-old Kelly and is part of an alleged sex cult. Kelly has denied all accusations against him. Azriel met Kelly in 2015 when she was 17 years old. The Clarys allege Kelly promised to help launch her singing career, but claimed that just 3 days after the meeting, she went to a hotel to meet the singer without their knowledge. Angela says Azriel told them it was an audition and got defensive when they questioned her. Of course she did. Why wouldn't you trust me? Angela recalls Azriel saying at the time, y'all would think I would put myself in predicament and not call you if something wasn't right? Mm-hmm. Alice also says their daughter accused them of ruining her chances at a singing career. Really? Seriously? How did they ruin that? It should have happened by now, right? And that's exactly what she said. This is my opportunity. This is my big break, Alice says. Eventually, the Clarys say they developed a professional relationship with Kelly, though he rejected them when they pitched various business deals. They say that when he later asked that Azriel go on tour with him, they were powerless to say no, since they claim Azriel had threatened to attempt suicide if they didn't allow her to go. The Clarys claim Azriel had already made one suicide attempt previously before she even met Kelly, following a bad breakup. Okay, so here's the thing. You're the parent, not the child. So if your child threatens suicide, that just means you go report her and send her to a mental health institution for observation. So you don't use suicide as a threat to get your way. That's enabling and spoiling your child. Suicide's a very serious thing. Wow. I don't want to call her bluff on it because I know she just attempted this previously. So if your daughter has attempted suicide previously, why would you think that she'd be in the right frame of mind to go on the road with anybody or to go tutelage with somebody else? I mean, you know, if your child tries to commit suicide, you don't say the next day, hey, what's for dinner? No, it's an issue that needs to be addressed. Alice says, but I'm thinking in my head, she's only got 3 more months. She's going to be 18, so she can do what she wants. And is she really going to carry this out? And then now I'm living with regret for the rest of my life. The Clarys eventually signed a letter giving their consent for Azriel to go on Kelly's tour and stay with a woman named Valerie Denise Payton. Alice claims that at the time, Kelly told them Payton worked with his musical label, Sony Records, but they later found out she works for Kelly. As for the criticism they say they faced for letting their 17-year-old daughter go on tour with Kelly despite the rumors surrounding him for decades, they say ultimately they trusted their daughter. That gave me pause. I mean, it gave me awareness, Angelo says, of Kelly's reputation. But you're talking about a young lady that's raised by 2 parents. I didn't trust him. What I trusted was I raised my child right. I trust my daughter will be honest with us. And this was strictly her music R. Kelly had a platform as big as music can ever give somebody, I didn't see the label stop supporting him. But here's the thing. Aaliyah was successful. That was early in his career. Sparkle was on the verge of success, and you saw what happened with that. So there's only one person who had success with him. At the end of the day, Angelo says he takes full responsibility for the situation they're in with their daughter. We never deny responsibility, Angelo says. I feel like I failed my daughter because I should have saw different signs. I should have saw the changes in my baby girl. In Azriel's own interview with King last week with another one of Kelly's living girlfriends, 23-year-old Joycelyn Savage, she emotionally defended the singer. I'm crying because you guys don't know the truth, Azriel said. You guys are believing some effing facade that our parents are saying. This is all effing lies for money. If you can't see that you're ignorant and you're stupid. Wow. In King's interview with Kelly himself, the singer candidly talked about his relationship with Savage and Clary. He also vehemently denied having sex with Azriel when she was underage. I love them, and it's almost like they're my girlfriends. Okay, wait a minute. So if you love them, they should be your girlfriends. Wow. Kelly said of the two women, it's like, we have a relationship. It's real. And I know guys, I've known guys all my life that have 5 or 6 women. Okay, so don't go there on me, okay, because that's the truth. When King questioned Kelly about the age difference between him and the women, Kelly pointed out that they were both over the age of 18. I don't look at much younger than me. I just look at legal, he noted. I just look at you. I've already read this earlier. Oh, man. Wow. There that is. Oh, so one more story, folks. One more. Celebrity mom crimes. Lori Loughlin surrenders to FBI, taking into custody over college admission scandal. Lori Loughlin surrendered to the FBI today, this morning apparently, over her alleged involvement in the major college entrance exam scheme. FBI press office confirms to E! News. The Fuller House star was taken into custody and will be booked at the Metropolitan Detention Center. She will be in court later today. This news comes 24 hours after E! News obtained court documents that show that both Loughlin and Desperate Housewives alum Felicity Huffman have been charged with conspiracy to commit mail fraud and honest services mail fraud. The actresses are among over 40 individuals who have been charged in connection with the alleged scheme. According to the FBI affidavit, the scheme involved getting students admitted into colleges such as Georgetown, UCLA, USC, Stanford, University of San Diego, University of Texas, at Austin, Wake Forest, and Yale. E! News confirmed that 13 defendants were taken into custody Tuesday morning in the Los Angeles area, including the defendant Huffman. Huffman was later granted a signature bond of $250,000 with a promise to return to court. Despite earlier reports, U.S. Attorney's Office for the District of Massachusetts told E! News that Loughlin had not yet been arrested on Tuesday morning as she was out of the country. She was contacted by the federal authorities to come back and turn herself in. Loughlin's husband, Massimo Giannulli, was arrested Tuesday morning without incident. Loughlin and Giannulli have 2 daughters, Isabella, 20, and YouTube star Olivia Jade, 19. So the rest of the news in that regard I've already reported to you guys, but there is one more follow-up, though. Celebrity mom crimes. Felicity Huffman and Lori Loughlin roasted by fellow stars over admission scam. All right, so many celebs poked fun, but just as many called them out for allegedly using their privilege to cheat. The reactions just keep coming as this scandal continues to dominate the news cycle. Let's see. The Varsity Blues star James Vanderbeek poked fun at the FBI giving their operation the same name as the 1999 movie and how relevant one quote of his from the film would be in this scenario. Donald Trump Jr. also mocked the 2 actresses on Twitter before getting dragged himself. The original post below. Within minutes of the admission scam story breaking on Tuesday, Felicity Huffman and Lori Loughlin, and yes, I'm Becky, were among the top 3 trending topics on Twitter. The actresses were among 50 suspects caught up in the nationwide college admissions cheating scam, allegedly paying a collective total of $25 million to ensure spots for their offspring in elite schools. So, reaction was swift, with many celebs poking fun at the two actresses, but just as many calling them out for allegedly using their privilege to cheat. Billy Eichner was among the first to react with a Desperate Housewives gag, admitting Terry Hatcher got me into Brown, before following up with Judith Light got me waitlisted at Tufts. And the third, look, it's not the biggest problem in the world, but I would not have gotten into Dartmouth without Monique. Wow. Arrow star Kirk Aceveda did not see the funny side. No such thing as white privilege, ? Then how about rich white privilege? He tweeted. Ouch. Teach your kids the benefits of hard work instead of raising them to believe cheating is the answer. Your payoffs only rob a more qualified kid out of a spot in that school or scholarship for those in need. Well, there it is. ESPN sportscaster Jamel Hill added with Twitter tongue-in-cheek, I, for one, stunned that rich people would pay millions in bribes to get their children into elite colleges. You mean they didn't earn it based off of merit alone? As we're constantly told, clutches imaginary pearls. Comedian Lonnie Love pointed out, somewhat accurately, you spend $500,000 to cheat on SATs to get your kids in USC. A tutor would have been cheaper and jail free. # I'm Becky. Ouch. Fellow comedian Guy Branum was among the many drawing subtle and incredulous parallels into the other federal investigations. Finally, we have the grounds we need to impeach Felicity Huffman. Firefly star Jewel State joked, or maybe didn't, dibs on playing Felicity Huffman in the Lifetime movie about this mess. Wow. Heather star Brendan Scannell also joked, or maybe didn't. Nobody paid to get their kid into Northwestern, which tracks because when I got there, I found out I was actually just every rich kid's safety school. No, excuse me. I'll re-say that. Nobody paid to get their kid into Northwestern, which tracks because when I got there, I found out it was actually just every rich kid's safety school. Is that supposed to be tracks or sucks? We're gonna. Okay, well, I guess we'll just leave that alone. Samantha Bee took to the sarcastic route. Breaking news: interest into college unjust, tilted in favor of white kids with rich parents. Undoubtedly, the shadiest shade came from Rob Lowe, who retweeted a graduation picture with his son John, declaring, very proud of my honest, hardworking sons. John himself was a little less subtle. Still proud of this achievement. Happy for everyone out there who earned their accomplishments, and really sad for those who were never allowed the opportunity. Ouch. I studied for months for the SAT, twice, sometimes 3 times a week. Tons of practice tests. Ended up taking the SAT multiple times as well. College apps were no joke. The amount of stress kids put into that potentially lose a spot to someone unfairly is horrible. Very proud of my honest, hardworking sons. Rob Lowe. He added, and let me say, I'm incredibly grateful that I had the privilege and opportunity to have a tutor and to afford practice test programs. A lot of kids don't, and to think of them losing their chance at their dream school to someone undeserving is really, really gross. Ouch. Even Donald Trump Jr., who helps run the Trump Organization and whose dad is the president, mocked both actresses for using their privilege to help their kids. Retweeting an old Lori tweet about doing the right thing, he snarked. Hollywood, he also reshared an unfortunate old tweet to Felicity's asking for the best hacks for the back-to-school season. Jiving, I'm learning some new ones as we speak. Stay tuned. Wow. All right, good people of planet Earth and the known universe. Nah, I promise I'm out of here. I had to share that with you guys. So thanks again for listening. I appreciate you all. Hope you had a good time. I know I did. Once again, you've been listening to GSMC's Entertainment Podcast. This is Captain Keith signing off. And until next time, well, I can't wait to see what entertainment news I got for next week. I don't even know. I'm on edge. This is crazy. But, until then, see you somewhere out in space.
You've been listening to the Golden State Media Concepts Entertainment Podcast. part of the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. You can find this show and others like it at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Download our podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and Google Play. Just type in GSMC to find all the shows from the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. From movies to music, from sports to entertainment, and even weird news. You can also follow us on Twitter and on Facebook. Thank you, and we hope you have enjoyed today's program.